Eagles lose their third straight game on the season as they fall to the Kansas City Chiefs, 42-30.
Oh no! We suck again!
Andy Reid back in Philadelphia eating cheesesteaks and having a good old time as his offense puts up 42 big ones on the Eagles. It's back-to-back weeks that the defense has allowed 40-plus points. So for this video, I kind of want to focus on the defensive issues and why they're the problem on this team. The offense had a pretty good day overall. Some miscues, some missed opportunities, of course, that they should have cashed in on. But overall, I want to focus on this defense, so let's get into it. Just quickly before we get started, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you are interested in subscribing, please click that subscribe button down below. It would really help me a lot. Trying to hit 400 subscribers by the end of the year. Also, comment down below what you think the problems are on this Eagles team. Specifically, I want to hear about the defense. Why are they struggling? And what can they do to get better? Alrighty, let's talk about the Eagles defense. As we kind of alluded to in last week's video, this stretch of games is very tough for this team, but not something that's impossible for this defense. It's a defense that the first 2 weeks looked really good. Again, you played the Falcons, and then you played a 49ers team that is a good football team, but had some shortcomings on offense and has struggled. The defense did look good. They did some things well. They got pressure when they needed to. Their run defense wasn't great, but it was salvageable. It was passable. This week against the Chiefs, same old story for Kansas City and Pat Mahomes. They were able to do whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. The big stat for me today for this Eagles defense and why they struggled, on third down, the Chiefs were 9 of 10 on converting. And that is something where you're Jonathan Gannon and you're looking at the tape. That's got to be a point of emphasis for the future weeks, because on third down, you're looking to get off the field, you're looking to get stops. They weren't able to get stops. And that's a huge part of why the Chiefs were able to be successful today. And kind of looking at it in a finer sort of detail, why weren't the Eagles able to get stops? They're not creating enough push at the line. Their defensive line has been inconsistent at best. Fletcher Cox, not really been there for most of the season. Javon Hargrave has had an awesome year. He's been the standout on defense. But other than that, I mean, Ryan Kerrigan, where has Ryan Kerrigan been? Nowhere. I don't think he's recorded a stat yet this season in 4 games.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So that's just worrying. The linebackers just are thin. They're thin at linebacker. They don't have enough talent there. And their secondary is beatable. Their secondary, you can throw the ball down the field consistently, especially when you're not getting pressure at the line. Pat Mahomes looked comfortable. He made his plays all day, as he normally does. To go along with that, the rush defense was not there. 200 yards is what the Chiefs ran for today, and that's very telling. When the Chiefs or any football team is able to run for 200-plus yards, it's going to be a rough day. I just think something needs to be changed up in the defensive philosophy of Jonathan Gannon. The overall just aggressiveness, I think they need to be more aggressive, maybe call a few more blitz packages, change up the defensive front, anything to just give a different look on film and make opposing offenses think differently about this team. Another stat to go along with the third down conversion rates, the Chiefs were 5 of 5 in the red zone. They weren't able to get stops when they needed to most, especially in the red zone. Not only is third down important, but the red zone, they go hand in hand. You got to stop teams from scoring, and you got to hold them to 3 points. Eagles weren't able to do that. And then back to the penalties this week. 9 penalties for 49 yards. Not as bad as last week, but again, there were still some penalties on the defensive side of the ball specifically. Derek Barnett, why is it always him? I don't know. The fact that Fletcher Cox did not record a stat in today's game is definitely troubling, because he's your leader. He's your best player on defense. Not your best player on defense right now, because that's Javon Hargrave, but he's got to get going. He's got to get to where he was in years past, and he's not there right now. He had a lucky fumble recovery last week against the Cowboys where the ball basically fell right in his hands. Other than that, what has Fletcher Cox really done this year? The stats have not been in his favor. To go along with Ryan Kerrigan being a no-show, this defensive line looks just inconsistent and a little thin. Milton Williams, getting him some action is good for his youth and his experience. Derek Barnett is Derek Barnett. And Josh Sweat actually does look pretty good. Did have that sack in the first half that got brought back. He's got to be in the backfield more. I think he has the raw talent to do that, but he needs to put it all together. And going into the beginning of the season, everyone was saying, the defense is suspect at best, but the defensive line is something that we can hold stock in and something that, is a strength of the team. And right now, it's just been Javon Hargrave getting pressures and getting really consistent play and making plays, especially in the run game. That's, I think, the biggest cause for concern, because teams are being able to run at will, and that, of course, sets up the play-action pass or any sort of facet of the passing game, because when you're keying in on the run, it's harder to defend the pass. It just works like that with complementary football, and whenever you give up 470-plus yards, it's not a great day at the office, and that led to the Chiefs' 42 points on the day. So back-to-back weeks where the Eagles have gotten gashed, third straight week where they've lost a game here and 2 losses at home. Not looking good for this Eagles club. They're going to have their growing pains, and this is certainly a stretch of games where they will experience that. Hopefully they emerge better out of it, but we'll have to wait and see. So overall, the Eagles defense, again, is getting lit up, not being able to stop the run. That leads to the pass game being efficient, and then not getting enough pressure on the quarterback. Penalties, not being able to stop teams on third down and in the red zone. All these are the main cause of why the Eagles have struggled, especially the last 2 weeks where they've given up 40-plus points in each game. So those are my thoughts on the Birds as they move on to take on the Carolina Panthers next week in the 5th game of the season. Should be, I think, a pretty good game. Hopefully the Eagles can eke one out here and get back in the win column. I don't have a lot of hope, but I will be having a video on that, so stay tuned. We're going to have some more skits, some more maybe Sixers videos, depending on what happens with Ben Simmons. Philly season is done. Flyer season also starting, so all Philly sports content will be on the horizon. So stay tuned for all that. If you like the video, leave a like. That always helps out the channel. And that'll be all for me, guys. I'll catch you on the next video. Appreciate the support as always, and I'm out. Peace out, everyone.